The Kootenay-Columbia Federal Election 2019. 6 candidates, 7 questions, and only one 60-second answer for each. No retakes, no edits. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Rick Stewart, and I'm your candidate for the People's Party of Canada in the riding of Kootenay-Columbia. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for this opportunity to speak, and in extension to all the businesses that make this such a great riding and a great city here in Cranbrook. We're a grassroots party. We were built from the ground up, and we are strong proponents of Canada, a sovereign nation, and one with prosperity and security for its citizens. Thank you.
Question 1. What is your opinion on the role that businesses and business organizations should play in addressing the growing concerns about climate change?
Well, I expect a lot of people would start to talk about, small business being innovators and investors into making different components of the green plan happen. But my take on this whole thing is a bit different. I really think that small business should rally against the green plan, because the green plan is not a plan, it's a dream. Real plans, like all of you when you started your businesses and running it day to day, you have plans. You have budgets, you have timelines, you have activities that are necessary to make something happen. And the green plan is a dream. It's just prophesized. It's based on public funds. It will turn our economy into a dystopian future for us and our kids immediately. We need business that recognizes the dangers and folly of falling into this green dream, and you should advocate against it and vote for People's Party of Canada.
Question 2. Nonprofits make significant contributions to the vibrancy of our community. What will you do to ensure nonprofits are able to thrive?
Well, the short, quick answer is to lower taxes. That's what we're all about. The PPC believes in fiscal responsibility. Just like as you run your businesses, you recognize that responsibility for the bottom line is the only way that you can stay in business and generate profits. And that prosperity of people working in your community, your bottom line looking good, not in red ink, but in black ink, that's what makes our communities vibrant. And I really see Cranbrook, and Creston is another one, and Revelstoke. I don't want to exclude any of the communities in our riding, but you can sure tell where the Chamber and the small businesses really rally behind community projects and make it a great place to live. So us in the PPC, we believe in lowering taxes and ensuring the prosperity of its citizens through a vibrant economy.
Question 3. Members of the Kootenay Real Estate Board are calling for a change in the B20 mortgage stress test. They would like to make it more regional in nature to allow the test to better fit with the realities of each real estate market across the country. A regional test would consider factors such as housing market activity, average cost of a home in that market, employment levels, average income, and cost of living in the area. If elected, would your government support this change?
This question is one that I would need to study and hear from a lot of different experts on all sides of the issue. Initially, I want to jump in and say, oh yeah, it sounds great to stress test people using all these other additional factors. But I'm cautious, and I really need to study more about that before I commit to it. But I think there's potential, and I think there's a reality there that we can't ignore. I do have a problem with 30-year mortgages. To me, that is, people paying interest for all those years, hardly denting their principal. That is not the way to a good, solid future. Your kids will already have kids by the time you pay off your house. It's not an answer. Prosperity in our nation is an answer. And the other thing I want to say is, you want to stress test somebody's mortgage application, the governments better clean up their act and ensure the security of the citizens.
Question 4. Where do your government's priorities stand on the need for federal infrastructure investments to encourage the construction of new housing?
Great question. One of the problems with this situation is that actually housing is a provincial jurisdiction. But having said that, the federal government can play a huge role in coordinating and helping out. But one of the things I see right now is a bureaucracy that's out of control all across our towns. I have friends who have tried to build businesses, build their own house, and the delays, the licensing, the permitting, the inspections. I mean, enough already. Stop it. If you want housing to occur, our local governments need to start releasing land and getting services put in place and let local small business developers get in there and build the housing. They zone, they get the land available and the services, and we fix the problem.
Question 5. What is your plan to ensure Canada's debt burden remains low and affordable today and for future generations?
Like one of my friends, longtime friends, said to me, if you want to get out of the hole, you need to stop digging. And Canada needs to stop digging at all levels of government. It's irresponsible to do otherwise. Now, we need a federal government, particularly, that's willing to work within the confines of the Constitution and not outside of it. We believe in reforming our equalization program to make it fair for all provinces and also to moderate our immigration program. I mean, we have a housing shortage already in this country, and we're bringing in 400,000 nearly people a year, and a lot of them are crossing illegally into Canada. No, we don't have open borders. We don't have open banks where you can walk in and take whatever you want, and it's got to stop. We need more responsibility in government.
Question 6. What specific measures will you introduce to help small business thrive?
Small businesses thriving depends on a number of things. First of all, there is, in a broader context, before I talk about the other two things, is we need to work on our trade agreements with other countries, particularly with the United States, who is our largest and most important trading partner and defensive ally. But we need to liberalize trade, fair trade agreements with as many countries as possible. But also, we need to appoint a Minister of Internal Affairs to work with the provinces and bring in or incorporate the concept of mutual recognition so that provinces can share skills and services between them. That contributes greatly to our economic prosperity in this country, and studies have shown that we're losing up to $100 billion a year in lost opportunity because of these problems.
Question 7. What role do you feel the federal government should play to help our struggling forestry industry?
I think we all recognize the fact that forestry and forest products are under the jurisdiction of provincial governments. But the federal government does have a huge and important role to play. And as I mentioned earlier in this set of questions, is that we need to ensure that we liberalize trade with as many countries as possible. And Canada's role in dealing with the United States and getting the elimination of the current 22% tariffs that are on softwood lumber exports, that has to be negotiated and hard. We have to stand on principle. We will let the US know that we're great friends and allies, but we're not patsies. And we need, as friends, to look out for each other's mutual benefit. So that's what I would do. Also, the feds, I don't believe in big tax giveaways, but we need to diversify not only our markets, but our products in forestry.
And now we end with a 30-second closing speech.
There's two sides to business, and I didn't get a chance to cover it in this set of questions. One is the People's Party of Canada wants to eliminate the capital gains tax. We want to have a 10% small business tax, And we want to accelerate the capital cost allowances. And that's particularly important in businesses where they have a huge turnover of equipment and inventory. The other side of the equation for business is no matter how good we are at cutting taxes and that, we need to ensure the prosperity and demand for the goods and services being offered by the consumer.
Video production powered by Artistic Media Productions in collaboration with the Kootenay Real Estate Board and the Cranbrook Chamber of Commerce.